Hello students, Standard 8th. The revision of 13th chapter is going on, direct and inverse proportion. In the last session we did some examples, so let's take some more examples. Shown the following. First one. If 8 liters milk cost rupees 384, what amount should be paid to buy 11 liters milk? So here we can write down as X, that is the quantity of milk, and Y as cost in rupees. So now, given that 8 liter milk cost is 384 rupees, so we have to find the cost of 11 liters of the milk. Obviously it is case of direct proportion, because if the quantity increases, the cost will increase. So now x1 upon y1 is equal to x2 upon y2. So 8 upon 384 is 11 upon y2. So now we have to do the cross multiplication. 8 multiplied by y2 is 11 multiplied by 384. So y2 is equal to 11 into 384 divided by 8. Now we divide 384 by 8. 8 4s are 32, 64. So 8 8s are 64. So y2 is equal to 48 multiplied by 11. So it is rupees 528. So first of all we have to check by the given information that whether it is the case of the direct proportion or if it is the case of the inverse proportion. Next one. If 8 men can do a piece of work in 4 days, in how many days in how many days 16 men will do it? Here you can see that as numbers of men increases, the work will be finished in less days. So it is a case of inverse proportion. As we know that if the more people will be employed, then that piece of work will be finished in less days. Means number of men increases, then the number of days to complete the work will be decreasing. So we will take X as number of men and Y number of days. So what is given? That 8 men can do it in 4 days. So 16 men in how many days? So due to the inverse proportion, we know that here we took x1 upon y1 because it was in direct proportion, but in inverse proportion we have to take x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. In direct proportion, x1 upon y1 is equal to x2 upon y2. But in inverse proportion, x1 multiplied by y1 is equal to x2 multiplied by y2. So 8 multiplied by 4 is equal to 16 multiplied by y2. 16 will come this side, so 8 multiplied by 4 upon 16 is equal to y2. 8 1s are 8 2s are 2 1s are 2 2s are. So y2 is equal to 2. It means that if there will be 16 men, then the work they will do it in 2 days. So we can write down the 16 men will do the work in 2 days. So when the numbers of men double, then days are halved. 16 days, then only it will be finished in 2 days. So that is very important to know the proportion. Now the next question. 20 masons. Masons means the people who build the walls, etc. 20 masons can complete constructing a wall in 6 days. How many days will it take? If 30 masons do the job, here if more masons, less days required. So it is also a case of inverse proportion. Because we know that When we employ more masons, then the work is faster. The more work will be done. So the less days will be required. So it is the case of inverse proportion. So X is number of masons and Y is days. So now 20 masons, 6 days. 30 masons, how many days? So here, as it is inverse proportion, x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. So 20 into 6 is equal to 30 into y2. So 20 into 6 upon 30 is equal to y2. 3 2s are 6. So 2 2s are 4. y2 is equal to 4. Therefore, 30 masons will complete the job in 4 days. So more masons, it will require less days to complete it. Let's take one more example. A machine in a soft drink factory fills 960 bottles in 8 hours. How many bottles will it fill in 5 hours? Here you can see that if it works 8 hours, 960 bottles, but it will work only 5 hours, then less bottles will be filled. So it is a direct proportion. Here it is case of direct proportion. So now X hours, Y number of bottles. So 8 hours, 960 bottles. So 5 hours. So x1 upon y1 is x2 upon y2. So 8 upon 960, 5 upon y2. So by cross multiplication, 8y2 is equal to 5 multiplied by 960. So y2 is equal to 5 into 960 upon 8. 12 8s are 96. So it is 120. So y is equal to, y2 is equal to 12 5s are 60. So 600. So in 5 hours, 600 bottles will be filled. So this chapter is little difficult, but not actually. If you understand the proportion, either it is the direct proportion or inverse proportion, then you know that in direct proportion we took like x1 upon y1 is equal to x2 upon y2, and then do the cross multiplication and find the final answer. And if it is the inverse proportion, we take the product, means x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. So only the first thing is, when you read the question, check which two quantities are given, and then think that if the one quantity will increase, what will happen to the other quantity. If both increases together and decreases together, then it is obviously direct proportion. But if it is reverse, means when one increasing, the other decreasing, or the reverse, means one decreasing then the second increasing, in this situation there will be inverse proportion. So only that main thing is to decide whether the proportion is the direct proportion or the inverse proportion, and then according to any of them will be there, and then by simple multiplication and division we will be able to find the answer. So here we are going to finish today's session, and also the revision of this chapter number 13. And you will write down from the PDF, and if any confusion, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.